Have you ever heard of the story of the 5 blind men and the elephant? Well, one day the Raja got a new elephant, and there were 5 blind men in the village that had never experienced an elephant before, so they wanted to go and see what an elephant looked like. The first man ran into the ear of the elephant, and he declared, "Oh my, the elephant is like a giant leaf." The second man, he ran into the trunk of the elephant, and he declared, "Oh no, the elephant is like a giant snake." The third man had the tail swipe him, and when he grabbed the tail, he realized that the elephant was like a rope with a frayed end. The fourth man, he bumped into the leg of the elephant, and he could feel that the elephant was like a massive trunk to a tree. While the fifth man ran straight into the side of the elephant, and he declared that the elephant was like a great wall. Well, the Raja, hearing all of their arguments, came out and laughed as he pictured in his mind what the elephant would look like from each of their point of views all put together. And then he declared to them, "It is not your eyes that limit your sight, but it is your ears. For if you all listened to each other, you would have greater vision than any single man with sight." There's an elephant in our lives, maybe an elephant in the room with us right now. And that elephant that we all want to see, we all want to get to understand, but don't, is being happy. We all want to be happy. It's the motive for everything that we do. But we all have this little pieces of it, and we don't quite have the whole picture. And maybe we need to relook at how we see the elephant. In early psychology, Freud came along and looked at emotional drivers. And he declared it's our emotional drivers that drive everything. It drives our behavior, and that's why maybe we're 5 minutes late, because really we're angry inside. And it drives our thoughts. It shapes the way we think about things. And he said understanding our emotions were the key. Other people said, no, we don't think that's right. We think like James Watson, who said learning about our behaviors or learning about how to teach people is more the approach. Later on, medical people came along and said, no, we need to learn to understand biochemistry and come up with the right medications for people, like Prozac. Well, later, people like Beck came along, and he said, no, we need to understand the mind. We need to understand how to think right. Because if we could think positive thoughts like, I think I can, then we'll have the keys to happiness. An even older tradition, but which is fairly new to us here in the West, is the mindfulness tradition that comes out of Buddhism and looks at Om and clearing our mind and being present as a way or key to being happy. The most recent work has been done with Seligman. He studies positive psychology, and he believes that he's going to find out what makes happiness by researching, and believes that the data from the research is going to point to the truths on what is happiness. Well, what if we are the 5 blind men? What if we don't see what's really going on? What if happiness is not just one thing? What if happiness is a state? It's a combination of many different things. I like to think of it as a state of mind, but it's also a state of consciousness. Happiness is clearly also a physical state, as well as being an emotional state. Simply put, I like to think of happiness as a state of being, or a state of well-being. And it's not a vague state where we really can't understand it. I think we could even give it a name. I think the name flow works the best. For when all the parts of ourselves are flowing well, we are in a state of well-being. And the reverse, when the parts of ourselves individually or collectively have all collapsed, then we're in a state of ill-being or dysfunction or unhappiness. So as we look at happiness, I think maybe we're all right. Maybe Freud, in looking at understanding emotions, is right. As well as the behavioralists and looking at medications and the biochemistry of the body, that's right too. And the cognitive model with the mind and mindfulness, understanding consciousness, is correct as well. And that's what patterning psychology really is all about. It's about looking at all these four parts of ourselves and creating flow within them by using the four faculties. The four faculties are 1, the faculty of mind, 2, the faculty of body, 3, the faculty of consciousness, and 4, our faculty of emotion. All four of these add together and create flow. So maybe what we're looking at isn't wrong. Maybe it's because we don't listen to each other that we can't see the whole truth. Thanks so much for watching this short video. I'm Brett Williams, and you have been learning about patterning, a positive psychology.